The 15th ranked Sentinels volleyball team has 5 games left to improve their playoff seeding. Tonight it's no easy task as the 10th ranked Odyssey Institute Minotaurs come to the East Valley to spoil the show. The serves and spikes live from Chandler Prep next on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. Good evening, everyone. So glad you can join us. I'm Joe Pequeno. The Sentinels have to dig deep and be determined. They are coming off back-to-back 4-set losses to ALA West Foothills and Florence. They enter with a record of 12-8 overall, 4-2 in second place in the 3A Central Region. Meanwhile, the red-hot Minotaurs are rolling, winning 8 straight. They haven't lost a set in the last 3 matches. The Sentinels will need a complete team effort to pull this one off. Elizabeth Steinkamp and Fia Fisher have to lead the charge. 1 and 2 in kills on the team with 201 and 108 respectively. Hannah Ostrowski puts her team in great positions, 328 assists, 5.7 per set, and Maddie Carey Morrissey with 150, a little over 3%. Libero, Hannah Thiel playing tremendous, 219 digs, 3.8 per set, with Steinkamp at 171, and collectively the Sentinels are hitting .167. The Minotaurs, senior Alex Coates, a team high 213 kills, 3.7 per set. Fellow senior Isabella Mitchell second with 117. Freshman Alex Saul is having a great first year with 292 assists, 4.4 per set. And senior Sarah Ferguson second on the team with 132. Senior libero Caitlin Celestino doing a great job, a team high 219 digs. And the Minotaurs once again are rolling. They've won 7 straight. Last time out for Odyssey. Last 3 matches, 3 wins without dropping a set. 3 over Parker, Chino Valley, and River Valley. In the win over River Valley, Coates a team high 21 kills, Sauls 21 digs, and Sauls a team high 10 digs. Last time out for Seton. A 4-set loss to Gritty Florence. Seton hit only 0.60. Steinkamp with 13 kills, Hannah Ostrowski 25 assists, and Hannah Thiel with 21 digs. Sentinels wearing their pink jerseys for cancer awareness. Odyssey on the other side of the floor. They're decked out in the off-white, and we'll call it violet or purple or something of that nature. Okay, I'm not going to admit, but once again, I was a Crayola crayon deprived as a kid. Sentinels coach, led by James Johnson in his 7th year. His assistants, Riley Johnson, who of course played at Seton. Brian Milhone, his daughter, played for the Sentinels as well. Grace Milhone in her time with 355 digs in 2016. And Riley Johnson, a great player in her own right, the team high 350 digs in 2018. Minotaurs led by head coach Lance Adams from Idaho, in his 5th year with the program. His team is, as he put it, hungry and determined, and they rallied a couple weeks back in maybe a turning point win for the squad when they were down in the 4-set against Yuma Catholic, on the verge of losing that set match, but rallied, and they came back to win it in 5. Then of course they rolled off the victories over Parker, Chino Valley, and River Valley. Minotaurs anxious. Squad is 0-2 lifetime, and they'll serve it up with Isabella Mitchell, dug out and on the right side. Minotaurs going back on their offensive attack. Backdoor Steinkamp. Rocked over, and good receiving by the Minotaurs. They'll bump it over. Steinkamp back row. Set up in the middle. Another shot, and that is going to drop in. Ellie Washkowiak. We're going to get this right. Ellie Washkowiak. I butchered that name last time. That will be the only time I butcher that name this evening. Serving it up, here we go. Libero digs it out for the Minotaurs. They'll set up their outside hit. They try to go soft, and that drops out of bounds. So a tremendous good start for the Sentinels, and we'll gather all the information on the starters in just a moment. bump over. Sydney Stumpf in the back row. Set up and blasted, and another point by Ellie Washkowiak. What'd I tell you? First you don't succeed, second time you're mumbling, third time you knock it out like a champ. 3-0 Sentinels. Stumpf almost serves up the ace. And good work at the net by Steinkamp. So on the floor, we've got Sophia Fisher in the middle. Hannah Thiel. Number 5, Ellie Washkowiak. On serve right now, Sydney Stumpf and Steinkamp. And also on the floor is Hannah Ostrowski, the setter extraordinaire. And right now the Sentinels are blazing out of the gates with a 5-0 lead, and Lance Adams isn't there yet, but he might have to blow that whistle very soon. Dugout, back row, Minotaurs right into the back row, set up and blasted, kept alive. Washkowiak, they go right back to her. Washkowiak knocks through a couple Minotaurs, and we've got a graphic that we're ready to show you tonight, because tonight, Freddie the Flamingo and the Sentinels, they're coming out with a purpose, and they've got one thing in store, and we'll have that for you in a second. Stumpf right into the Minotaurs back row, right into libero. That's blasted, kept alive at the net. Sentinels, Steinkamp will knock it through. And the Sentinels cruising, and we got a timeout. And the Sentinels just rolling off to a fast 7-0 start. Decked out in their pink uniforms, a team that is so anxious, because when we talk about the Sentinels, of course, they've got the Odyssey Institute, ALA West Foothills. They've got as we look at, that was the Odyssey Institute schedule. Well, since I have that up, they're here on the 22nd. They got ALA West Foothills at home. They head to Human Catholic on the 23rd. They got Kingman, at Parker, and then Tonopah Valley on the 29th. And that's Odyssey Institutes. And that is not long. Are we going to say that dropped in? So the score is 8-0. Now we'll get into the Sentinels schedule in just a second, as that is blasted, and the Minotaurs finally get their first point. That's Alex Coates. And we talked a lot about Miss Coates and her ability. A team high 213 kills. On serve, Caitlin Celestino, the libero. Worked into the back row. Steinkamp across the way. Coates is there. They'll go back to Coates. Coates, and that's good work by the Minotaurs. Another block, another outstanding effort by the Minotaurs. And that's a mishit at the net by Sarah Ferguson. So right now the Minotaurs are just trying to come together. And we'll break down their starters here in a second after the serve by Fia Fisher. Fia right into Celestino. Blast from the outside, and that blast is going to be long by Sarah Ferguson. 10-1. Sentinels are cruising. And this is something we did not expect. Dug out by Adina Lopez. And how about the combo platter at the net? And Sarah Giroux doing some nice things in the middle. Giroux, who leads the team in blocks. Blasted outside. Back row. Steinkamp will fire it up, and Steinkamp right into Allison Sauls. So right now on the floor, and as Fia Fisher will go right into Celestino. And an ace. And talk about coming out with a purpose. So Sarah Ferguson, number 7, number 8, Caitlin Celestino, number 10, Alex Coates, number 11, Isabella Mitchell, number 12, Adina Lopez, number 15, Allison Sauls. If I'm missing anyone, I deeply apologize to all the Minotaur fans out there. And that time, the Minotaurs get a much needed side out as Sarah Ferguson will go on serve. Minotaurs playing oh so well. Getting a huge smack in the face early in this one. Knocked in the back row, and that's going to be mishit by Adina Lopez. Maddie Morrissey checking in, as well as Mackenzie Matherly. Stepping out for the Sentinels, Hanno Ostrowski, as well as Ellie Boszkowiak. Maddie Morrissey having a good year. On the assist side, she'll fire it across right into Celestino. Worked at the net, and the Sentinels once again have the answer. And for this Minotaurs team, and they got to burn another timeout. They are ranked 10th, but right now, I don't know if it's the drive across town, but right now they just look like they're stuck in quicksand. They're moving slow and just not coming with the energy needed. And for the Sentinels, look, they've got 5 matches left, and they understand that every one counts toward playoff seeding as we take a look at James Johnson talking the team on the bench. So they got the Odyssey Institute tonight. Tomorrow, another shot against Valley Christian, number 1 ranked in 3A. Last year's defending 3A champion. Apache Junction right here. And that's going to be on Thursday night. They'll have Globe on October 28th. And then they're going to get really cool by going to Coolidge on October 29th to wrap up the season. 5 more wins, and Sentinels can improve their playoff seeding. And another service ace for the Sentinels. 16-2. You know, the way they're playing, Paulo, I think they might be able to catch the kickoff with the Texans and Seahawks coming up at 7. They are just really owning this one. It's refreshing. And that's going to be a hand call against the Minotaurs. So they're going to replay the point. So your referees are Naomi Evans and Charlie Sayom. Naomi's in the chair. Blasted, and a big-time thunderous hit by Alex Coates, the senior, 6-footer. Also checking in is Isabella Mitchell, about to go back in. Araceli Garcia also on the floor, number 4. Knocked over, dug out nicely. Morrissey. Outside, and outside thunder by Steinkamp. She's getting up like a champ and knocking it down. Sending Stump back in. Good minutes by Elisandra Kabalatungan. Steinkamp doing just about everything for this team this year and then some. And she knocks down the ace. So, as I was researching yesterday, I'm reading all about the Minotaurs and their 7-game win streak and how well they're playing. Ranked 10th, they've never beaten Seton. And right now, the Sentinels are just making it look easy. They're faster, crisper, and for a team that's lost back-to-back matches, you wouldn't know it. They're not lingering. Outside. And Morrissey cannot bring that one in. And a much-needed side out for the Minotaurs. And look, the chances of them winning this set are minimal, but no question what they've got to do is just try to build point for point, get better. It's almost when the Sentinels beat Florence here, and Florence got better throughout the match, and then Florence turned the tables and won and beat Seton at their place. And the Minotaurs, as that's not handled by Hannah Thiel. So now it's 18-5, but for the Minotaurs, I mean, this could be a playoff preview. These two teams could potentially face each other in a first round or a playing game. You just never know how things go. Knocked over. Sydney Stumpf, Morrissey. Stumpf will fire it, and that's going to be long and wide. 18-6. Minotaurs with Lulu Gracia, the senior, doing things at the service line. So glad you can join us on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. We've got a graphic that we're dying to show you, and that's a good piece of work by Sarah Giroux, and the Minotaurs were able to answer. Steinkamp bumping it up. Morrissey and Giroux. And Giroux high and hard in the middle. Sentinels were the first to 15. They're on the verge of being first to 20. At the service line, Hannah Thiel. Thiel having a great year as well with that libero jersey, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to think that's a net violation. Sentinels get the point, now 20-6. They were the first to 5, first to 10. I think you get the point. They're first to 20. Set up in the outside. And a big thunderous hit on the outside by Emma Valenti. We're going to say Valenti. Once again, first you don't succeed, you do better the next time. 20-7. Sentinels with Allison Sauls will fire it up. And that momentum is short-lived, and nothing is more painful for a team after you get a side out and you can't capitalize. Morrissey and Matherly checking out. Back in, Waszkowiak, as well as Hannah Ostrowski. Ostrowski right into Salentino. Minotaurs will just bump it over. And the soft spot is found on the floor by Sarah Ferguson. Sarah Ferguson, a senior, 5'10", came into this one with 90 kills. On serve, Isabella Mitchell. Mitchell will blast that, and that's going to be out. So now the Sentinels can try to win this on serve. Sydney Stumpf will try to line it up. And Stumpf gives it right back. And that is a pivotal thing for the Sentinels, is to be clean on their service game. Not just them, any good volleyball team. Celestino worked into Thiel. Bumped over by Steinkamp. Here come the Minotaurs. They'll set up their outside. Little bump over. Sentinels respond. Outside hit. Waszkowiak. And they'll reset for the Minotaurs as Sauls and the Sentinels now respond. Steinkamp with a purpose. 23-9. A lot of good Sentinel fans are in the stands this evening, decked out in their red, decked out in their Seton colors. Fia Fisher checking in. Fia will work that right in, and that is just bumped over but kept alive by a good hustling effort. Sarah Giroux gets it over. Set up, and the almost miss hit. And this time it's Steinkamp. Blocked at the net. Minotaurs respond. They'll go outside. Sentinels with a couple bodies there, and Minotaurs keep it alive. Little body working at the net on both sides and blast it over. Now the Minotaurs will reset. They'll go outside. And that is long and too strong by Sarah Ferguson. Set point for the Sentinels. 24-9. And boy, do we have a graphic we're waiting to show you. Knocked over Celestino. Hustling. Ferguson will just knock it over. Good dig out on the back row. A miss hit. I'm going to say it was 4 hits against the Sentinels. Checking back in is Hannah Thiel. Via Fisher checking out. Back row, Steinkamp, as well as Kabalatungan. She digs it out. Sarah Giroux, and that's going to do it. Getting up like a champ, and Freddie the Flamingo making the Minotaurs cry, and the Sentinels on the court making the Minotaurs think twice after that first set. We'll take a short timeout. Sentinels dominate that first set. So good to see by the count of 25-10.
You know what I think?
So it might be Greek lore or ancient history that the Minotaur is an aggressive physical specimen. But in this first set, the Sentinel was much stronger and wiser and more productive. That was my attempt at creativity for that first set. Sentinels take that first one 25-10. And now they embark on the second with Stump on serve. Right into Celestino. Knock over. Stump for the back row. Kept alive. Steinkamp will try to go in the back row, and Steinkamp delivers. So the second set starts a lot like the first. On the floor, Stump. Thiel. As well as Hannah Ostrowski. Steinkamp. Via Fisher. As well as Ellie Washkowiak. And a little battle up the net, and that time it's the Minotaurs winning it. Stump checking out. Checking in. Claire Coaches serving it up for the Minotaurs. Isabella Mitchell right into Hannah Thiel. Steinkamp and Elizabeth powering through. Elizabeth, of course, leading the team, coming in with 201 kills. Just a dazzling year. And Fia will go back to the service line. Fia worked into Celestino. Bumped up by Ferguson. Blasted Good dig by Fia. Knocked over by Steinkamp into the back row. Minotaurs looking to respond with some firepower of their own. And that firepower, oh so good. Provided by Alex Coates, senior outside hitter. So now the Minotaurs are settling in at some, trying to respond after getting blasted in that first set. And Steinkamp going cross court, and that wakes up Alex Coates, who tried to put a paw on it to get it back in. 3-2 Sentinels advantage. Now the big thing for Seton is to really come out, and they get off to a fast start in that first set, really lay the hammer and really go to work. And just like in situations like that, Sarah Giroux at the net, aggressive, take charge. And right now, the Sentinels have doubled up the Minotaurs in this second set. And you know, for the Sentinels, they'd love to get out of here, possibly, not saying it's gonna happen, but potentially in 3, because awaiting them tomorrow is a rematch with the defending state champs. Sentinels lost that the first time around. So they'll get another shot against VC. Those two teams, obviously great history, meeting in the state finals with Valley Christian winning last year. And of course, only separated by, let's call it 4 or 5 miles. The Ray Road rivalry, one of the best here in Chandler. Sydney Stump coming back in, joining Sarah Giroux, Madeley, Thiel, Morrissey, and Steinkamp. Set up in the middle, blasted, Steinkamp, good work. And Thiel keeps it alive. Morrissey, good hustle over. Now it's the Minotaurs, can they answer? And that blast, and Steinkamp has it. Morrissey sets it up via Fisher, make that stump, hits it over. Minotaurs, once again. Alex Coates doing her best. And the Sentinels run out of real estate, and the Minotaurs get the point, 5-4. Alex Coates will go to the service line. 213 kills on the year for Coates. Tremendous season. Sarah Giroux, back row of the Minotaurs responding. Morrissey, once again in the middle. And now the Minotaurs are showing a little life. Naomi Flores in that middle. The junior at 5'10", providing some height and some timely play. Can't stress enough, when you have a good middle, that really just neutralizes that side of the floor. Now the Minotaurs are waking up as Isabella Mitchell fires a rocket. Mitchell, integral, 117 kills coming in. Minotaurs with their first lead of the match. Steinkamp, Morrissey. Madeley will just bump it over. Celestino, set up and knocked home by Naomi Flores. Naomi Flores, and now that Minotaurs bench is clapping and getting up and doing things. They're making some noise. Alex Coates looks to continue this good run. Coates, Giroux bumped over by Thiel. Flores will get another opportunity. Steinkamp digs it out, and they just have to get it over by Sarah Giroux. Ferguson, almost a miss hit at the net, and they go back and forth, and that time Sarah Giroux wins not the picture perfect point, but in the box score tomorrow, it's all gonna look good. In that middle right there was Naomi Flores, and Flores just kind of mistimed her jump. Sentinels trailing by 1. Flores, and Flores finding the soft spot in the floor. She'll check out, but good minutes in the middle. Going back in, number 14, Emma Valenti. And number 2 on serve, Lulu Gracia, a senior 5'5". Valenti in the middle, junior 6'1". Stump, Steinkamp will bump it up. Stump will blast it. Ferguson was there. Bumped up by Allison Sauls. Steinkamp will push it forward. Knocked into the net by Matherly. 8-6. Minotaurs. James Johnson, the head coach, stepping up. Trying to support his girls. And that one goes long. So the Minotaurs get the side out, could not capitalize. Now the Thunder comes back in Hannah Ostrowski, as well as Ellie Washkowiak. Ostrowski so good, 328 assists to lead the team. And that's a thunderous shot in the middle. Isabella Mitchell, I'll tell you, she's 5'5". She is not tall, but man, she can sky and she can hit. And sometimes it's not the size of the player, but it's the arm whip that really determines how good someone can fire. On the college circuit, I've seen athletes that are very tall, and you figure they would have a ferocious hit, and they don't. Isabella Mitchell, for her size, can really do some damage at the net. And trying to do some damage right there. Sydney Stumps, Celestino's there. Sauls sets up. Mitchell, another opportunity. Dug out nicely by Steinkamp. Washkowiak, other side. Ferguson, back row. And that's going to be knocked out of bounds. Sentinels pull within 2. Sentinels have brought their fan base with them, of course. We're playing at Chandler Prep. Sentinels home gym is being worked on. So Sentinels Athletics is hoping by next year they'll be back in their gym. Minotaurs get the point. Clear Coaches comes in as Isabella Mitchell going to serve, and maybe that's a good thing. Mitchell's been a force at the net. Get her off that row, and she serves up the ace. And that right there was a miscommunication by the Sentinels. And the lead is 5 for the Minotaurs. Mitchell will blast that one. And that one drops in. And James Johnson's gonna have to call a timeout to talk things through. So we've seen this in the past with the Sentinels come out blazing, and then that second set kind of methodically just get kind of lulled into a haze. And the Minotaurs, well, they've got pride. They've never beaten the Sentinels, never. So they're here with a purpose, and they want this one. Lance Adams, in his 5th year, talked about his team. They're hungry, and they're here to prove a point. They brought their fan base from the West Valley. And as we talk about these two teams, Sentinels in the 3A Central region, 4-2, Valley Christians in first place at 6-0. Florence, surprising. Getting better all the time. They're 3-2. Coolidge is 3-2. Globes at 1-5. Apache Junction winless in conference. Odyssey Institute 7-0 in the 3A West region to lead it. ALA West Foothills 5-0, and Yuma Catholic 5-2 in third. In fourth, Chino Valley 4-3, and Tonopah Valley 5-4. Last year, Odyssey Institute made the playoffs, beating Blue Ridge in the play-in, then losing to Snowflake in the first round. Of course, Seton lost in the finals to Valley Christian. Bumped over. Clara Coaches. Sentinels trying to keep it alive. Knocked over by Washkowiak. Set up. Outside hit. Oh, a great block by Fia Fisher. And that was a much needed block. Fisher, 19 kills coming in. We'll call that kill number 20 or block number 20. Fia on serve. Sentinels trailing by 6. Sauls worked over. Steinkamp, opportunity, and should get the point off Valeni, who was tipped it at the net. 15-11. Sentinels trying to work their way back into this one. In this set, that is, after taking the first set, 25-10. Thea Fisher and a miscommunication on the back row between Alex Coates and Celestino. Now down 4. Worked into Alex Coates, and Coates blocked at the net by Roskowiak. Sentinels pull within 3. Sydney Stump will serve it up. And the Sentinels fans have come out in force. Set up on the outside. Valenti, high and hard, busting one. Minotaurs up 4. It's going to be Celestino on serve. Caitlin Celestino, a senior, 5'10", leading this Minotaurs attack. Steinkamp, and Steinkamp drops one past Mitchell in the back row. Maddie Morrissey and Matherly back in. Checking out Ostrowski as well as Waskowiak. Thiel coaches Morrissey, Steinkamp, Giroux, Matherly on the floor for Seton. Knocked over, dug out, outside. Steinkamp looking for placement. Mitchell back row. Sauls will bump it over. Morrissey, Matherly, Celestino will come up. Sauls will set up the outside. That's blasted. Coaches is there. Steinkamp off the twine and then some. Sentinels now within 2. Making a push as we take another look. The good set, and Steinkamp rips the winner. Morrissey almost serves up the ace. Great hustling play by Mitchell, and the attack error by Sarah Ferguson. Sentinels now within 1. Lance Adams has to burn a timeout. So we kind of talk about the Sentinels and both teams and the Sentinel schedule. Look, this is part of 5 remaining matches for the team, and each one is huge. A chance to really improve their playoff seeding. Right now they're ranked 15th, so the Sentinels are really hoping to, as you look tonight, Odyssey Institute and Valley tomorrow, Apache Junction, Globe, Coolidge. So Apache, Globe, and Coolidge. Seton's had great success on the hard court over the years. Sentinels won the first set here in control and have rallied to pull within 1 here. So they have an opportunity to take this second set as Morrissey right into Celestino. Sauls bumps it over. Matherly going back the other way. Morrissey on the miss hit. So an opportunity as Morrissey and the Sentinels, all they can do is kind of just laugh it off and regroup. 17-15. Dug out by Steinkamp. Morrissey that time. Steinkamp. And that's blocked out of bounds. Elizabeth Steinkamp. And if her brother's watching, Tommy boy, hope you're enjoying yourself at ASU. Hope you're dialing in watching your sis. She's doing things. And when you're doing things, life is good. 17-16. Sentinels down 1. Steinkamp right into Celestino. Sauls, middle attack, and that's going to go long. Sentinels have tied this one up at 17. Even Steven, 1s and 7s. Steinkamp right into Celestino. Sauls, outside attack. That's blocked to the net. Good work by Giroux and Stump. Matherly going cross court. Good setup by Sauls. Outside hit, and that one went to Apache Junction. Sentinels now leading 18-17. So the Sentinels one time were down 6 in this second set. They have roared back. Combination of just cleaning things up. They came out maybe just a little lethargic in that second set. Now they're locked in. Served up by Alex Coates. Dug out by Theo. Knocked over by Sarah Giroux. Sauls will set it up. Outside, Mitchell. Mitchell keeps it alive off the block. Celestino. Mitchell will get another opportunity. And she fires that one past Theo. I gotta say, it's really amazing. Isabella Mitchell, not really, as I mentioned, she maximizes what she gets out of that 5-5 frame, and she's a very good player. And she brings a lot of energy, and that momentum for the Minotaurs, short-lived. Pia Fisher back in. Giroux out with Thiel on serve. Thiel will serve it up. Almost a gamble. Minotaurs took the opportunity. Morrissey. It's going to be a back row attack by Steinkamp, and Steinkamp will work it into the net. And the Minotaurs are the first to 20. Valenti going back in. Big body in the middle. And Lulu Gracia will serve it up. Gracia, a senior setter. Right into Steinkamp, a very good set. Morrissey. And a miscommunication at the net, and the Minotaurs are coming closer to taking this second set. And James Johnson and the Sentinels will try to recollect the players here. Also on the staff this year, a newcomer for the Sentinels who played at Seton. And we welcome, of course, Christina Curis, part of the Sentinels coaching staff. Good player in her time, and now is providing some valuable insight for the next generation of Sentinels players, or this generation, and eventually the next generation. Sentinels down 3, so the big thing is Sentinels really just have to lock in. They have more skill on the court, but when you give a team like the Minotaurs breathing room and give them a chance to believe, things go sometimes wrong. Pia Fisher with the miss it at the net. Minotaurs closing in, 22-18. They're motivated, looking for their 8th straight win. They've never beaten the Sentinels. So this is in the course of their season, of course, winning region and everything else is important, but when they're in 3A and that one's blasted, when they're out of their area and playing 3A across the state, they look at this one and like, we want to take this win. So they're coming with a purpose after getting blasted in that first set. Theo and Morrissey and Stump on the miscommunication. Set point for the Minotaurs. Gracia with an opportunity to nail this one shut. Stump, Morrissey, back row attack. Steinkamp will knock it into the back row. And the Sentinels get the point. So they're alive. And they're kicking, but they have to kick awfully well. Isabella Mitchell in that middle of the floor for the Minotaurs, having a nice match. And Ostrowski. That's blocked. And the Sentinels, big bodies at the net. Deny Emma Valenti. Can the Sentinels squeeze out 4 more? Good serve, and they draw closer. Araceli Garcia couldn't handle that one. on that service line. Ostrowski. And that one almost the near ace. Right side. And that'll do it. And the Minotaurs respond in the second set as that one is off the antenna. So the Sentinels' first set victory, short-lived. They get a little sloppy in that second set. We're tied at 1. Short timeout. Sentinels in a battle against the Minotaurs. And let's see if we can call up the graphic one more time as Freddie the Flamingo. He's going to play volleyball against the Minotaur. You saw it earlier, and there it is. Freddie just putting the ball right in the Minotaur's face and say, "Take that, you Minotaur." We just have too much fun. When I think Seton volleyball, I think Miley Cyrus, because nothing screams Seton volleyball like Miley Cyrus, and it's a party in the USA. It was a party for the Sentinels in that first set. They took it 25-10, then the Minotaurs, the horned animal or mischievous ancient creature, came back in the second set, winning 25-21. So now the Sentinels have got a match on their hands. Call it a little bit of lack of focus in that second set, and now the Minotaurs, they've got life. And Isabella Mitchell has been a spark plug for the Minotaurs. Number 11, you see her on the left side of your screen. And she's about to give a little hand slap, and well, the Sentinels just about being cleaner and focused and ready to go. And Paulo Hutchison, who has ample time on his hands, he has told me the Minotaurs' primary powers include superhuman strength, immense durability, and incredible stamina. I almost feel like I'm reading like a Marvel comic superhero power sheet of like Thor, or maybe the Vision, or one of those cool characters. So, yeah, that is where we are there. Waiting for both sides to get things in order as Charlie Sagoon, the referee, is getting things up and running. Both these teams are about to get back after it. Monday Night Football. Lions are roasting the Bucks 24-9. Amon Ross St. Brown, 5 receptions, 87 yards, a touchdown. I know that because I'm playing against them in fantasy. Minotaurs. And that is won by Odyssey. Sentinels with a good effort, but Odyssey takes the first point. Isabella Mitchell on serve. She's played outstanding so far. Good hard serve right into the stump. Bumped over by Theo. Mitchell on the miss hit, but worked over by the Minotaurs. Steinkamp in that middle, and Fia Fisher with the blast right into Allison Sauls. And that's there all day. I haven't seen Sauls really return a missile right at her. So, as good as she is as a setter, on the receive side, she's vulnerable. And Valeni is proving that the Sentinels are vulnerable when she rises and strokes it from the outside. Caitlin Celestino, 5'10" senior. Tips off. Steinkamp will fire it up right into Celestino, almost off the rafters. Saul. Mitchell back row. Alyssa, good work. Bumped over. Celestino. Saul trying to push it. Theo setting up Steinkamp, and Steinkamp knocks the winner. And now some of that energy is there for the Sentinels. It was kind of missing in that second set. They came out so explosive, ready to go in that second set. It's almost like the energy level just disappeared. Theo. Sauls keeps it alive, bumped over by Sarah Ferguson. And a miscommunication as the Minotaurs get the side out, and they go up 3-2. On serve, Sarah Ferguson, senior, 5'10". Ferguson looking to do some damage at the service line. Ostrowski. Steinkamp fires it up, and Flores in that middle. Ostrowski right side. Mashkowiak. Ferguson is there. Ferguson back row, and that's a miss hit at the net. Sentinels tie this 1-3. Back in, Maddie Morrissey and Matherly. Going in, Araceli Garcia. Maddie Carey Morrissey, senior, 5'8". Fires that in. And an ace that Araceli Garcia could not handle. And we've seen Garcia struggle on serve, so we'll see if the Sentinels have picked that one up and go right back at her. Once you find a chink in the armor, you work it. And that time they go back into Celestino, and Sauls tries to get it off the net and could not. John Engelbert of the men's volleyball team, he's the coach. He's in that corner as you see him on the serve by Fia Fisher. Sauls. And a push by Sauls gets the point. 5-4. Sentinels like to see them just get a huge, huge run. Knocked over. Morrissey. Steinkamp back row. Worked into Aracela. Good hustling effort, but that's going to be out of bounds. Allison Sauls did her best, and Araceli Garcia tried to knock it back in, but could not. 6-4. Sentinels with Steinkamp on serve. Elizabeth. Right into Araceli. Araceli kept alive by the Minotaurs. Pushed over by Giroux. Mitchell will fire it up, and Mitchell with the attack error. And that's a rare one for her. Sentinels now leading 7-4. Steinkamp in front of the student body with his own version of Freddie the Flamingo right there. Freddie on a stick. Steinkamp right into Alex Coates. Mitchell, Morrissey. Sentinels keep it alive. Going back the other way, Araceli. Mitchell will have the attack error, and she wants that one back, and all she can do is laugh it off. 8-4. And the Sentinels fans tonight, one young lady's got a Christmas sweater on, because nothing screams Christmas like October. Sentinels get the point. Another miscommunication. Now the Minotaurs are kind of finding, not by choice, that first set form in which they fizzled 25-10. Sauls setting up Naomi Flores. Steinkamp in the back row, could not get to it. 9-5, Valenti. Lulu Gracia coming back in. So glad you could join us on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. Paulo Hutchison on the live stream. Last time I saw Paulo was down in Tucson. And that's a save at the net that Maddie Morrissey could not dig out. Minotaurs starting to blow a little smoke. They pulled within 3. Gracia right into Sydney Stump. Set up nicely by Morrissey. Blocked at the net and Stump with the winner. Sydney Stump getting up like a champ. Came in with 61 kills. Stump, a junior, she's got another year, so she's going to be counted on in a big way. And Thiel right into the back row of Alex Coates. Valenti tipped at the net, kept alive. Stump will go back row. Ariselli's there. Sauls setting up Mitchell. Mitchell blocked at the net. How about that big time thunder by Fia Fisher? 11-6. John Engelbert with his gray jacket enjoying the view. Thiel right into Coates. Sauls, Valenti outside. Back row save. Morrissey setting up Stump. Stump goes oppo into Celestino. Fired up by Mitchell. Morrissey's there. And Thiel with a good hustling effort, but the Sentinels collectively come undone on the point. Minotaurs not going away. Ferguson in. And a side out by Allison Sauls. And going back in. Hannah Ostrowski on serve, and Ellie Washkowiak back in. Ostrowski, good serve into Celestino. Sauls setting up Ferguson. Good cross court, almost caught the Sentinels off guard. Ferguson bumps it up, battle up the net, and Stump gets the point. Sentinels first to 10, can they be the first to 15? Celestino's there. Outside, Ferguson tipped, worked, and knocked over by Washkowiak. Celestino setting up Mitchell. Mitchell blasted into Steinkamp. Ostrowski and Stump right through Ferguson. Sentinels cooking. And we got a timeout on the floor. Sentinels with a 14-7 lead. So big week on campus. Of course, Thursday night we'll have more volleyball right here against Apache Junction. And then Friday night, Paulo Hutchison gearing up. We're calling some football. And the talented Jaden Reichen, one of the best young broadcasters in Arizona. I think when he was born, he automatically was given a mic as a kid and just started talking. I think he started calling play-by-play when he was in his diapers. And you know what? Of course, he had to figure it all out, and he's figuring it out well. So he'll join us. So when we watch another epic Sentinels football game on Friday, senior night, the fireworks, of course. We might have visitors from another planet. We might have dancing aliens. We're going to see if we get Spider-Man, too. Is it possible to get Spider-Man, Paulo? We'll see if Paulo's going to dial up a superhero for us, or two. Washkowiak gets it over. Saul's little short bump over. Stump fires, and Stump with the winner. Sentinels first to 15. Now can they get 10 more? And then just come out firing in the fourth set. Just get it done, just power. Just come out with a vengeance. Almost a near point and stump. That time, Sydney, she just came out and just laid the hammer. Made it a no-doubter. 16-7. Ostrowski is setting up Ferguson. Ferguson, that's going to be long. And the refs get it all set and situated. Charlie Seguin looked at James Johnson after that point like, hey, it's all good. That's blasted. Mitchell saved in that back row. Knocked over. Stump. Ferguson was there. Make that Coates in the back row. Soft touch, and Sydney showing some creative moves. Sentinels. Allison Sauls checking out. Lulu Gracia checking in. Coach Adams looking for a little bit more technique in that back row on the receiving end. Isabella Mitchell will fire it up into Sydney Stump. Stump just has to get it over. A little miscommunication there. Celestino. Outside hit. Dug out nicely by Steinkamp. Roshkowiak. Celestino hustling. Outside hit. Steinkamp saves it. And not enough real estate on that side for the Sentinels to operate. 18-9. Mitchell going back to work. Right into Hannah Thiel. Knocked over by Stump. Mitchell back row. Knocked over by Coates. Steinkamp. Ferguson tracking it down. Celestino, soft touch. Steinkamp has the answer. A little battle at the net. Both sides battling, and that's going to be out of bounds, and the Sentinels get the point. 19-9. A lot of Sentinels red in the crowd. Chandler Prep. Basically a red gym. Sentinels colors. Not like they requested it. They were just already here, which was a good thing. And how about that battle at the net? Fia Fisher going up strong against Alex Coates and winning that battle. Sentinels, as we take another look. Stump, and Fia just denies Coates at the line. Stump, Sentinels with a chance to win it on serve. Outside hit. Good save, good dig out by Thiel. Oh, how about the hustle by Fia Fisher? Mitchell. And Mitchell with the blast from the back row. Isabella Mitchell getting the most of everything. Checking in. Alyssa Kabalatungan. Celestino on serve. Ostrowski, Fia Fisher, loud and proud. Sentinels 4 points away from the sweet, savoring victory of a third set in a 2-1 lead. Fia Fisher right into Alex Coates. A little miscommunication, Sarah Giroux outside, Roshkowiak. And Ellie a little too strong on that one. Changes coming in. Getting some action on that front line. Lucy Towns. That's out of bounds. Sentinels short-lived as Matherly as well as Morrissey Morrissey looking to do it at the service line. Right into Celestino. Ferguson. Coates on the outside. Blocked, and Coates will get the point. Minotaurs. Not done yet. They're blowing semi-steam. They're not crying. From a Freddie Flamingo fastball to the face. Ferguson setting up that middle. And how about Sarah Giroux? Loud and proud. Sentinels, uno, dos points away from taking a third set victory. Kabalotungan, good series for her. Steinkamp right into Celestino. Ferguson, Flores, and Morrissey and Thiel working hard on that back row, just cannot swing it back the other way. Naomi Flores will serve it up. And she shoots that long. Sentinels. We're going to say it. Set point. The magical words a coach loves to hear. Hannah Thiel, part of the two Hannahs on the team, Ostrowski and Thiel, two great players in their own rights. They've had to earn their time, and they are a credit to getting things done, and the Sentinels get it done here in the third set. 25-13, so just like that first set, they dominate. And that's really, that time they made the Minotaur cry. No crying in volleyball. Tough guy with the horns. When you're an animal with horns, you're supposed to be tough, right? You're not supposed to be crying. Mr. Minotaur getting all sobby and sobering eye and crying. What's that about? Short timeout, Sentinels with a 2-1 lead. You're watching the Minotaurs and the Sentinels. Monday night right here on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. So when I think Seton Catholic volleyball, I think Miley Cyrus as well as Nicki Minaj. Because I like to be having fun and higher than the sun. And this one about to take place. Sentinels back on the floor. Giroux, Stumpf, Waszkowiak, Fia Fisher, Elizabeth Steinkamp, Sarah Giroux, as well as Ostrowski, Sauls, Flores, Mitchell, Valenti, Ferguson, and Coates on the floor for the Minotaurs. Minotaurs have won 7 straight. They're coming off 3 matches in a row. They have not dropped a set. Giroux's out. Thiel's back in, their libero. So can the Sentinels start fast? They cooked in the first and the third, lethargic in the second. Up 2-1. Fans are anxious. They want to see the Sentinels put this one away. Stump will fire it up, and here we go. And that's worked well. Ace in the back row. Celestino and Coates with a little miscommunication, and that could be the downfall of any great relationship. 1-0. Seton looking for its 13th win of this year. Celestino, Sauls, Mitchell kept alive by Thiel. Outside attack, Steinkamp, and Steinkamp off the tape, and it drops. 2-0. And you gotta love Allison Sauls, only a freshman for the Minotaurs, and she does a tremendous job for her team. Minotaurs have got some good young players in place. And Sauls with a good hustle right there. Good hustle in the back row by the Sentinels. Pushed over by Washkowiak. Ferguson, Sauls sets up the outside. Mitchell blocked to the net. Ostrowski's there. And they're gonna call a net violation against the Sentinels, and that's a close one right there. Clara Coaches comes in. Mitchell on serve. Right into Steinkamp. Ostrowski bumped over by Washkowiak. Valente with the miss hit at the net. Sentinels with a 3-1 advantage. Via Fisher right into Celestino. Sauls, Valente blasted. Good bump by Fia Fisher. Steinkamp into the back row, and Steinkamp proving if you hit the ball very hard, sometimes it goes with the force harder the other way and cannot be dialed in. And if you wanted a soft serve, you should have gone to Dairy Queen. How about that? And you know what? Speaking of Dairy Queen, look, if I had my choice between Culver's or DQ, I'm picking Culver's every time. I like soft ice cream. Dairy Queen, I get that every time I have their ice cream, it's like concrete. I gotta wait an hour for it to like de-concrete. Yeah, I gotta tip it over, and you feel like you can just lay bricks for a building. But of course, you know, DQ has a special place in my heart as well. Multiple blizzards in my lifetime. Of course, if I'm gonna have a blizzard, I'm gonna throw in a little Heath, a little Oreo. How about some chocolate sauce as well? Yeah, I digress. Morrissey on serve. Right into Celestino. Sauls outside, Ferguson. Oh, Hannah Thiel stepping up. Morrissey setting up Steinkamp. Elizabeth Steinkamp, loud and proud, doing things for the Sentinels on Pink Cancer Awareness Night. 6-2. Morrissey, nice service run, Celestino. And the miss hit by Naomi Flores. And Lance Adams has got to call a timeout. He needs to regroup his kids. And the Sentinels feeling good about where they are with a 7-2 advantage. After winning the first set, 25-10, dropping the second, winning the third, 25-13. So as far as the Seton Catholic broadcast schedule this week, Thursday, right back here, taking on Apache Junction. And if you're scoring at home, and you're like, Joe, what's the standings looking like in the 3A Central? Valley Christian 6-0, Seton's 4-2, Florence 3-2, Coolidge 3-2, Globes 1-5, and Apache Junction looking for its first win. So they're going to be in upset mode on Thursday night. So the Prospectors are going to come here with a purpose. They're not going to lie down at all. And then Friday we got football at Michael Eubanks Stadium. Morrissey right into Celestino. Sauls, Ferguson, blocked to the net by Steinkamp. Sentinels are cooking, up 8-2. They're rolling. And you like to see this for the Sentinels. They've dropped 2 in a row. Needing to get back on track. I really think sometimes with this Sentinels team, it's really about focus. Sometimes, yeah, they might run into a team that's maybe a little more talented than them, but for the majority, they can play with just about anyone. And the only thing that's separating them from victory some nights is focus. 9-3. Stump back in. Also checking out for the Minotaurs, Sarah Ferguson. And coming back in, Araceli Garcia. Steinkamp. We've been following Elizabeth since her freshman year. And once again, Garcia's had trouble on the receiving end of serves, and the Sentinels have mapped that one out. Question is, do they go right back in that direction? And that time it's into Celestino, who's a professional digger as a libero. Thiel, Morrissey, and a mistimed jump by Giroux. And that stops the Sentinels' momentum for a split second. Alex Coates on serve. Coates. Morrissey setting up Giroux that time, and Giroux. No lack of height on that one. 11-4. And the Sentinels bench pounding the pads. Maybe we can get that angle next time. After a creative point. Thiel on serve. Thiel right into Coates. Flores. Mitchell's trying to bang it over. Could not. Sentinels leading 12-4. Sauls setting up Mitchell. Mitchell blasts that one. Kept alive. That probably would have been out. Steinkamp gambled as Gracia and Valente check back in. 12-5, Sentinels a big lead. 13 points away from victory number 3. And their 5th league win. Blasted, and Matherly misses wide. 12-6. Now for the Sentinels, you just want them to put a clamp down, clean it up, and get out of this one. Stump. And Stump shoots that one long. So back-to-back attack errors. And, you know, for the Sentinels, that's where they have to be better. Collectively, heading into this one, they're hitting only .167. If you're hitting in the threes, you're doing great. In the twos, solid. The ones, not capitalizing enough. Mitchell, Steinkamp. Steinkamp in the back row attack. Coates is there. Sauls setting up Mitchell. Mitchell. Soft touch over. Caught the Sentinels napping just a bit. 12-8. Thiel is there. And this is where the Sentinels have to tighten things up. They're cruising along, and now just a little miscommunication, and now the Minotaurs have got some life, only down 3. Thiel. Morrissey comes up. Matherly with the attack error. Now it's a 2-point 4th set. And James Johnson's got to call a timeout. So once was a comfortable lead at 12-4 has now turned into a nail biter. Paulo had no idea where I was going with that. You know, when you don't have a camera on me, sometimes the sound effects are paramount in the delivery of things. So the Minotaurs and Lance Adams, they play in that West region. And Paulo now dropping the camera on me. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Pequeno. So glad you can join us. Sentinels came into this one with back-to-back losses. Now here they are in a 4 set with a 12-10 lead. They led this one 12-4. They've been sloppy over the last couple points. And now the Minotaur Nation, they're bringing their fan base from the west side. They're loud and proud. They're blowing steam because that's what Minotaurs do. They have horns on their head and they blow steam. And along the way, they're trying to not be knocked down and taken down by the Sentinels in the course of this one. So now we're back to live action with Lulu Gracia about to serve it up, and the Sentinels looking for a side out. Morrissey coming out. Stumpf right into the back row. Garcia knocked over, the attack error by Lulu Gracia. Sentinels get it back as Naomi Flores back on the floor. Flores actually checking out. Sauls, Isabella Mitchell, and Valenti in the front row for the Minotaurs. Almost a great point by, and they're going to call the palm violation against the Sentinels. 13-11. Allison Sauls, a freshman. Tremendous year for Lance Adams and assistant coach Jamie Gordon. Sauls into Theo. Worked that middle. Oh, how about the dig by Celestino? Just amazing. And that time, Thea Fisher goes right into Sauls. And Sauls has been as good as she is in setting up. Sometimes she gets a point blank laser at her, and that reaction time, maybe something she'll have to work on in the off season on the club circuit. Sauls, good hustling effort, knocked over by Ferguson and into the antenna. And the Sentinels stretch that lead. We got some breathing room. First to 15. Can they be the first to 20? And if they're the first to 25, we're closing up shop. Stumpf. And Stumpf gives the Minotaurs life. Only a 3-point lead with Isabella Mitchell about to do things at the service line. Mitchell. Via Fisher. Sauls setting up Ferguson. And that's going to be dropped in. For a second, thought it might be a tip, but instead they dropped it in the back row. Mitchell and the Minotaurs trying to push it to a 5th set. Now down just 2 after trailing 12-4. And that's the service ace. Claire Coaches. Mitchell on serve. Works that into Steinkamp. They're setting up Elizabeth. Elizabeth kept alive by Mitchell in the back row, and Mitchell, that's kind of a gamble situation, and that one didn't pay off. Fia Fisher will go on serve. Giroux will go back in. The libero. Hannah Thiel will take a breather. And now the chance of Let's Go Thea are going. Sauls outside. Valenti right into Coaches. Roshkowiak and blocked at the net by Valenti. Big block by the Minotaurs. 16-15 as Naomi Flores supports her teammate with all kinds of love as Thiel's back in. Celestino and the Minotaurs not going away. Worked into Thiel. Blasted, and that one is out. And we're knotted at 16. And if we get a timeout on the floor, we're going to see our favorite featherly friend in Freddie. Yet to see him tonight other than the graphic of him beating up the Minotaur. Off the tip, Coaches, good hustle. Steinkamp blasts it, and the win. Cross court, Celestino, great effort. Morrissey and Matherly will check back in. Oskowiak and Ostrowski checking out. Morrissey, great on the service game. Great setter. Works that in, almost fires up the ace. Ferguson has to bump it over. Coaches. Morrissey in the middle. Giroux blocked and wins. Sentinels leading by 2. 18-16. Maddie Morrissey into the twine. So the Minotaurs get some breathing room. 18-17. And that's going to be going back the other way as Ferguson mishit, and she had that look of disappointment on her face. As Araceli Garcia back in, and Sentinels have worked it her way on serves numerous times. Let's see if they do it here. And they go right back at her. And Sauls is there to get over. Celestino bumped over. Giroux, they'll work it to Stump. Right into Coates. Sauls, Coates will get it back. Blocked. Celestino's there, bumped over by Mitchell. Steinkamp, back row, Morrissey. Giroux, big time thunder. And the Sentinels are the first to 20. But can they be the first to 25 in this fourth set? And Lance Adams, he's got to call a timeout. The Idaho native who played baseball, also played basketball. He was a forward. Has to give his team a speech, and James Johnson and his team decked out on pink on Cancer Awareness Night, closing in on their potential 13th win of the season and their 5th conference win. And for the Sentinels, you kind of look at their schedule, of course. Odyssey Institute, they're closing in on a 4-set victory. Valley Christian tomorrow. Then it's kind of rolled into their favor. Apache Junction, Globe, and Coolidge, roughly in that order. Sentinels could be ending the season with a nice streak. Steinkamp, and Steinkamp fires up the ace, and once again they take advantage of Garcia in that back row. And coming in to get some work, Adina Lopez, a junior defensive specialist. And they go right at her immediately, and she's able to dig it. Coates will fire it up. Steinkamp will dig it. Soft touch, and the touch by Morrissey. I love when the setters do that. Have that little, it's almost like a Magic Johnson no-look pass. You look the other way, you boop, and find the floor. Steinkamp. Boom, right into Lopez. They're testing her immediately. Mitchell into field. Morrissey setting up Steinkamp in the back. Sauls will set up Coates. And Coates slices through. A little left-handed touch. And that one was just finding an opening. Coates almost off the tape. Stump, soft touch. Lopez comes up. Sauls. And that's going to be out of bounds. And Sauls and Lopez, a little miscommunication right there, did not give Sauls, who's been so good in this one, an opportunity for a clean set. Fia Fisher comes back in. Sentinels 2 points away from a 4-set victory. Thiel will fire it up right into Lopez, who's been good since checking in. Naomi Flores back row. Right side. Matherly. And Matherly Gets the point. And they're so happy for her. So many times, Mackenzie's had some opportunities and just too much energy flowing, right? That time nails it cross court. Now it's set a match point. Thiel. And that's gonna do it. And the Sentinels take it in 4. 25-10, they lost the second set. 25-21, they take the third, 25-13, and the fourth set, 25-18. We'll take a short timeout. We'll talk to a couple of the Sentinels about this big victory right here on the home floor. They're home away from home at Chandler Prep right here on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. We welcome back courtside at Chandler Prep. Sentinels get it done 4 sets over visiting Minotaurs of Odyssey Institute here with Elizabeth Steinkamp. And Elizabeth, what I loved about this one, when this team is ready and focused, You guys take care of business. There was no, you come out in that first set and you just get it done in a big way, and you get the 4-set victory. And your thoughts on getting the 13th win and snapping a two-match losing streak as well?
Yeah, it was a little hard coming off that losing streak. We were definitely down a little bit, but again, it's always our side, our energy, and we know that when it comes down to it, we can put our energy out there and we can take that game. Yeah,
and you guys did that, and this team is showing over the course of time. In that first set, you come out and you just physically own it, 25-10. Second set, maybe kind of walk me through that second set where maybe the energy just wasn't as good as the first.
Yeah, our energy started to fall down a little bit, and the other team took advantage of that. They started finding more spots. They started pushing themselves harder, and we have to take it upon ourselves to be like, okay, now's the time to add. Now's the time to keep pushing, and we'll do that in future matches. We did in the next 2 sets.
Yeah, and you got 4 matches left. Tomorrow night, a big one. Valley Christian, another chance at them. Of course, big history. Guys played in the finals last year. Your thoughts of going there and making them work and trying to prove a point and trying to build some great momentum as you play this final stretch. Of course, Valley Christian, then you've got Apache Junction, followed by either Coolidge and then Globe, in that kind of roughly that order. Your thoughts of this last 4 matches or so?
I'm really excited for the end of the season. Now is when we push before playoffs, and I think I'm really excited to play Valley Christian. It's time to get our revenge, come back stronger.
For you, Elizabeth, I've been calling you since you stepped on this campus. Isn't your brother here tonight?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought Tommy,
Tommy Boy's not here.
Tommy Boy's not here. I talk about it all the time, but I'm so disappointed in him that he's not come and revisited the campus since you've been here so many times. But, this is kind of like for you, because I started coming to see and calling games, and you were just a freshman, just a little kid.
Little baby freshman.
A little baby, little Elizabeth Stein camp with little blue eyes and ready to do things. And now your time's winding down on campus.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is it kind of getting like a little retrospective for you and thinking about everything?
It doesn't feel real yet. It feels like just yesterday they were doing She's a Freshman cheer. Like, I don't know, I'm not ready for it, but I'm enjoying my last season here, and it's bittersweet.
There you go. And obviously for you and the team, it's about, correct me if I'm wrong, trying to end strong and increase on the playoff seeding, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
There you go.
We're going to do it.
There you go. That is Elizabeth Steinkamp. Always so kind and always amazing from the day one. She was a freshman and now a glorious senior, in her time dwindling here on campus. Keep it here. Sydney Stump's about to join us. I don't think Sydney's ever joined us for an interview. So
oh, boy. She's going to be excited.
She's going to be excited. And we'll see. We'll just do the trade-off right now.
All right, Sid.
Sid, come on up. Live.
Oh, she's quite excited, guys.
Oh, my goodness. She is jumping out the gym.
Yes.
Sydney Stump. Do you see it? She's like, wow. Ready to do this.
Yes.
She's ready to do things. Sydney,
yeah.
Joe.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Congratulations on the victory and your thoughts.
Thank you.
First off for the team, ending a 2-match losing streak and getting back on track.
Yeah, I think we pushed really well today. We had really good defense. I mean, there was some...
Oh, wait. Is this your mom?
Yes, it is.
Come on, Mom. You can step up with us. We're doing a live interview.
Yeah, this is my mom.
What's that? Okay, sure. We'll take a picture while we do the live stream. There we go.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Mom, you want to step in right in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is my mom.
Yeah. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe. I'm Lee.
Lee, pleasure. That's Paulo. He's on the live stream as well.
Hi.
Freddie the Flamingo is also roaming around here as well.
Oh.
But Sydney, kind of walk me through that first set. You guys came out with so much energy, and of course, your mom, Lee, and the rest of the fans over here, they're like, wow, this is the Sentinels team we love to see. So walk us through that first set, 25-10, just owning it.
Yeah, so I think we came out really strong with, I think, a 6-0, and we were serving, and I think that was like the big momentum push, and then we just kept our serves, we kept our defense, we were blocking, we just had everything together, and it was, just great to see. Yeah,
you came out with such tremendous energy.
Yeah.
And then that second set where it's almost like, and I kind of talked about it because I really felt as I was watching that first set, I said to myself, this Seton team, skill-wise, athletic-wise, size-wise, there's no question the better team is in home pink. But walk us through that second set where it just seemed like the energy level, as good as you were in that first set, that second set, it just it almost like skyrocketed down.
Yeah, I think we obviously didn't start with serve, so we didn't come out super strong, or maybe we did, but I think it was hard because they came in with like, oh, we lost the first set, but we know how to like get them, like where's open, where we can score, and they're gonna come out with energy, but we're gonna come out with more. So I think having like them having that, and then us, we had this, I think we came out with this mindset, oh, we beat them so much in the first set that we'll just go in doing the same thing and win again. But I think like we didn't have as many good serves. Our defense wasn't there that well. I think everything we had in the first set wasn't really there in the second. So it was definitely much harder to, you know, pursue that win in the second set.
Well, you came back, you bounced back, you took the next 2 sets for the victory, getting your 13th win of the season, now 5-2 in league play.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your progression as a player since joining Seton Catholic, from where you were a role player, now you're counted on, you're starting, you're getting valuable minutes, and how your confidence has grown over the course of time.
I definitely think, especially this season, moving to outside the last week, it's definitely been a big confidence boost because I have so much more to focus on, and I have to focus on my passing, and it's just like, it's been such like a great experience coming from like being a freshman on the team, kind of being like nervous on how everything works, and then coming out junior year being a starter and just having such a big role in the team. It's been just an amazing opportunity.
And now for you, you've gone from being maybe that shy, timid freshman, now you're a leader on the team.
Yeah.
What's that transition been like for you?
It's been so amazing. It's been like, it's so incredibly fun, especially growing with all of these girls. I just feel like when I was a freshman, you know, I didn't know many people, so I was kind of like nervous, but now being a junior, like I know everyone, and I feel like everything I say, it's like so important. I just feel great, you know, it's just amazing.
And talk about, obviously, a big match tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Another shot at Valley Christian. Obviously, they've had your number.
Yeah.
And just going there and, you know, laying it all on the line and being fearless and being determined. And your thoughts of taking on the defending champions yet again.
Yeah, I think we definitely got this. I think we 100% do. All we need to do is get our block up, our defense, literally everything, and we'll just have like an amazing, like, just keep them on their feet, run a fast offense, just do everything they can, to stop us. So I think we'll be right there.
And then just trying to end this stretch strong. You know, Valley, you got Apache Junction Thursday, and then it's Globe or Coolidge and Globe on the back end of your schedule before the playoffs start. Talk about trying to end this thing so strong, because you're ranked 15 right now, but you get another 3-4 victories, and maybe you jump in the top 10 and your playoff road gets a little easier.
Yeah, for sure. I think that just beating Valley and doing all these other teams will be such a confidence boost for all of us, and I think we'll definitely get up there.
Okay, before I let you go, because my mom was the greatest person in my life, and I lost my mom in July, and to this day she's still with me.
Yeah.
And how special is it for you to have your mom here, who loves you to death, comes up taking pictures and tries to capture this special moment, and she's right there in the backdrop and waiting for you. And your dad, you know, standing tall, and to have your parents here supporting you, what does that mean to you?
Just, it's amazing, you know, seeing them in the stands every day, walking in, seeing them. It's just like, it's great. I love them so much, and I'm so happy that they're able to be here. And when my sister's here too, it's amazing, thinking she'll be here next year and she'll be able to see like all the progression like this team has made. And it's just, I love it. It's amazing. I love it.
And she's going to be playing volleyball for Seton as well?
Next year, yeah.
And what's the Stumpf name we should be looking out for?
Allison Stumpf.
Allison Stumpf. And what is she going to play?
Right side or outside, same as me.
Right side or outside.
Yeah.
She's a hitter,
yeah,
right?
She
there
is.
You go. Well, you got to figure your dad's only about, what, 6'8"?
Yeah, literally.
So
6'7"?
Yeah, something like that. Well, look, best of luck tomorrow night, and go and give Valley Christian all they can handle, and then some. That is the lovely Sydney Stumpf. Had a great match.
Woo!
The Sentinels pick up their 13th win, knocking off Odyssey Institute in 4 sets. For Paolo Hutchison in the live stream, James Johnson, and all the wonderful Sentinels athletes, of course, for Odyssey, and all their great athletes as well. Victor Cerna, all the great people in the athletic department. I'm Joe Pequeno. Everyone have a great evening. This has been a presentation of Seton Catholic Athletics.
Woo!
Thank you, kiddo. Good luck.
Yeah, of course.